So today we're going to talk about three more tips to help you to ease your animal through challenges. And again, these are life changes that we all have. And today, the three tips that we're going to talk about are when you're traveling, some tips to help your animals while you're traveling, and then for when they have undesirable behaviors that you're wanting them to shift out of. And then I'm going to give you some tips on how you can help when thinking about rescue animals in particular. And I'll give you a bit more about that here in a moment. So first I want to talk to you about travel tips. I want to give you some tips to help your animals while you're traveling. And we have all gotten those looks, haven't we? The look, you pull the suitcase out. Oh my gosh. And first thing I want to say up front is you don't have to hide the suitcase. It's okay. Pull the suitcase out. Be honest with them. You don't want to hide stuff from them. You want to be upfront. They'll have more fear if you try to hide it from them. They get what you're thinking anyway. They already know something is up because you're thinking about your trip. So they're already aware of it. So you want to be honest with them about what's happening up front. And the very first thing, and my gosh, I really want everyone to hear this and get it. Lose the guilt. Please lose the guilt because that kind of it murks up the energy a bit. So when you're thinking about, oh my gosh, they're going to be miserable and they're going to be whining the whole time and they're going to be doing all this stuff, I want you to just as much as possible lose the guilt about leaving them. It's not as if, again, you're not leaving them in the wild without food or shelter. You are leaving them in the comfort of their home. Or maybe you're leaving them with someone, or maybe even you're taking them to some type of shelter where they have a run or whatnot. But whatever you're doing it in their highest and best. You're choosing a place and you're making a choice that they're going to have their needs met. They're going to have their food and their water and their toy or their bed or whatever it is. So know that you don't have to feel guilty. They're going to make it through that time just like we do without being without them, right? So as much as possible, lose the guilt and stay in that parenting role of knowing that you can be the strong one to tell them that they're going to be fine. So you're going to visualize the positive while you're gone. You want to visualize them feeling safe and happy and playing with their siblings or playing with their toy or enjoying their sitter that's coming in. Whatever the situation is, you want to really embrace visualizing and seeing them in your mind's eye as being happy and content and okay while you're gone. So when you're gone and you start to worry about them, you just send them love and say, oh, look, I'm doing that thing with my mind. So you want to just send them love. Just send them love. It's like, I'll be back in 2 days. I hope you're having a good time. And maybe you left some music on or you left a channel on the TV or something that you know that they'll enjoy. You just see them feeling safe and fine and content until you get back home. When you do these things, it's going to be a game changer for how you both can ease through when you are traveling. It can make a big difference. Okay, so the second topic we're going to talk about today is what you can do when there's an undesired behavior that one of your animals is exhibiting. And this is really important, and you can use this tip in so many scenarios with them, because did you know that animals are picking up on your thoughts? And sometimes they're seeing the movies and they're seeing it as pictures in your mind. So if they have an undesired behavior that they're exhibiting and you're constantly focused on that negative behavior, they don't get the red circle with the line through it. They're thinking, oh, she or he wants me to do this. I'll do that. And that literally could be happening. So this is why it's so important for you to build a muscle in your thoughts and start to visualize the behavior that you want. And when you can catch yourself in the middle of thinking about and worrying about whether or not they've urinated inappropriately or whether or not they are begging when you're eating at the table, whatever it is, you want to start even making up a movie in your mind about the behavior of what you're wanting them to do. So you want to, if they're begging at the table, you want to see them peacefully in the other room. Obviously, you don't want to contribute to this. You don't want to give in to doing it, because that's going to teach them that, okay, when I do it enough, they finally give it to me. So they want me to do it more. No, 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 no. You want to see them peacefully sleeping in the other room. And you don't want to have a bunch of negativity around it. So in the beginning, you really want to just focus on the thought. And then when they're doing that behavior, try to not give them any attention or any focus. Now, granted, I always teach, and if you've been reading my books or you watch me at all, that whatever emotions they're triggering within you are emotions that are wanting to come up. So if your reaction is sadness or anger or whatever it is, then kind of just do this note to the self. I've got some anger I'm trying to move out, and my animal's helping me to tap into it. And then you do that in healthy ways later at a different time where you can move it out through a practice. But when this moment, when they've got an undesired behavior, you want to really visualize in your mind's eye the behavior that you're wanting as much as possible. You're human, so give yourself a break. You're not going to be able to do it all the time, but try to catch your thought and then go, no, I'm going to show them in my mind's eye what the behavior that I am desiring from them. Okay. And so the second thing is that you want to make sure that you're expressing praise and gratitude for any subtle positive change, any of the slightest change that they exhibit on getting to the behavior that you desire. You want to make a big deal about it so they know they're going in the right direction. Playtime or a treat or just a walk, whatever it is that you negotiate with them for giving them, for expressing your appreciation. Be it just love. Love is enough. Just loving them, thanking them, expressing gratitude for it. And then what you want to do as you go through this process, as you're changing your thoughts, as you're beginning to do this more, is you want to clean slate your expectations for going. You don't want to have complete expectations for them changing everything overnight. Sometimes that can happen. Yes, that's a wonderful thing. And I hope it does for you. But in the meantime, just clean slate those expectations so that you're not disappointed or sad or mad, whatever it will be. So just do those three things. If they have some type of undesired behavior, focusing on the behavior that you want as much as possible, expressing gratitude for any positive, subtle change that they exhibit, and then clean slate your expectations for when you want this resolved. So I want to give you one more tip, and in particular, in how you are dealing with or working with, or if you've rescued a particular animal. I want to just give you this is a tip that I found when I used to when I very first began practicing. I was mainly only working on rescue animals at many different no-kill shelters, animal organizations, and donating sessions and getting to learn my trade and whatnot. And I would find that when I would work with these animals, they had these horrific stories. And I mean, just horrific. But then all of the rescue workers within those organizations knew the story. And then the people would come in, potential, adopters, and then they'd get to hear the story. And then everybody's vibration just goes down. Oh, the story of the animal. And I do understand that it's important to share or to know sometimes about what happened to them, but they do not want you to keep telling their story because they manifested getting out of that story into a better place. And again, anytime we repeat the story, it just lowers the vibration for all. And the animal's like, well, wait a minute, but I'm here now and I'm loved now and I'm happy now and I'm in this great place now where I'm getting all of my needs met in ways that I never got it met before. And I'm healing and they're providing this loving presence for me to heal and sink into that, and all kinds of tools for me to heal that they are providing. So it's just important for you to remember that the animals that have gone through a lot in their past would really prefer it if you would focus on the present moment. Just get in the moment and then visualize the positive for them. So anytime you see them kind of reacting from one of their old fears that probably derived or were originated with something that happened to them in their past, you want to just focus on and visualize the positive for them, like the previous tip, and really see them feeling safe in their body and knowing that they can trust now in a way that maybe they couldn't before, and provide a safe place for them. But visualize the positive that you're wanting for them and that you're hoping for them, and that they're living into. And then listen to what they tell you that they need. So maybe they're saying, I need a little bit more space, because sometimes when they do have a big traumatic story, we think, I could just love them out of this. And we want to just get all up in their space and hug them and just say, I'm going to love them so much that they're going to heal. And sometimes they need a little bit more space to do that. So acceptance for what their needs are. So it's kind of getting to that higher purpose, getting that space of asking them respectfully, what do you need from me? What do you need from me? More playtime, more walks, more space, more acceptance for where you are, more healing at the energetic level, or maybe something physically. Just kind of getting that adult space where you're looking at them and saying, okay, how can I provide the best care for them? And you're doing that. And I thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you for rescuing the animal and providing that loving space for them to heal in a way that they couldn't before. And remember that every little relationship is predestined, and they are teaching you something and you are teaching them, and you are providing this loving space for each other. So I thank you for that. So just remember this tip to, as much as possible, try to just diminish and let go of telling the story, because they don't want that. They want to live in the present moment and they want to move forward, and not retelling the story is going to help them do that every moment of every day. So I thank you for your love of animals, and you can find out more about these tips and many others in my book, Soul Healing with Our Animal Companions.